Is it?
A squirrel.
Squirrel! Are you showing that squirrel who's boss? Is it you? Are you the boss?
Okay, because this definitely has
The beautiful pizza cutting.
I'm trying my best.
Do you want me to do it?
You can try.
Okay, so as you can see, I am now back from Cymera, but I thought I would do a little reading haul because I bought so many books when I was there. I like totally forgot I like put them all out on the bed before I fully packed to go back home, and it was ridiculous. Like, because obviously I brought a lot of books with me anyway to get signed, and then there were some books that I purposely left to buy until I got there because I hadn't bought them yet. And it made sense because then I only had to take them back rather than take them there and back. So yeah, I did buy quite a few books, and there was some extra books that I bought that I hadn't necessarily planned on buying just because I ended up getting super interested in the story. The first one I'm going to show you actually isn't actually one that I bought there, but it was one that I only got a couple of days before I went. And it's a book I'd already read, and that is The Honey Witch. So I read an arc for this months ago and I absolutely loved it. I think I originally rated it like a 4.5, and like it stuck with me so much that I think I've actually just raised that rating to a 5. But I did manage to get hold of the Fairy Loot version just in time to take with me, so that was really good. Yeah, obviously did of course get it signed by Sydney J. Shields, who was really nice. She was so lovely. I was chatting to her for a little bit, and yeah, she was so sweet basically. So the other books I picked up, I already had multiple copies of Voyage of the Damned by Frances White, so this isn't a book haul as such, but she has these super cute little like character art bookmarks, which has their like animals on the back as well, and like I think a little quote about them, and this like magical, like it's like a ticket basically for the cruise. So she had those on the table that she was giving out to people, and also it was just really nice to see her and chat with her because we do kind of know each other, but I've wanted to go to her book events and something's always come up, so this was the first time I finally managed to get to one of her events, and yeah, it was just really nice to chat with her. And both me and my friend like adored her book, so yeah, and I love the artwork so much. I'm still gutted that we never got like character art in the Illumicrate version, so I have these now at least, which I'm very, very happy about. So onto the books that I did buy whilst I was there. I picked up Gareth Brown's Book of Doors. I read this during last month, I think, and really enjoyed this one. This was like a solid 4-star, and apparently he is thinking of doing more books. Like, I don't know if it's going to be a sequel of the same characters, but at least definitely in the same universe. So probably not his next book, but he is talking about doing a sequel to Book of Doors in the future, which I'm really excited about. This was kind of like a standalone initially, but it sounds like he is going back to that world, so that's really exciting. I picked up Song of the Huntress, which is Lucy Holland's next book. Really intrigued by this one. Sister Song I really liked, but there was some bits at the end that made me kind of drop the rating a little bit from a 4 to a 3, so I'm hoping this one kind of does have that better rating for me. Fingers crossed. And yeah, she was really nice as well. I was chatting with her for a bit. Her panel was super interesting. She had a whole panel about retellings along with 2 other authors. And yeah, I'm excited to what she's going to do next as well. It sounds like the next one she's doing is going to be about Tamerlane, who's like a Welsh mythology, I believe. It's Welsh or it's Irish. I think it's Welsh. My brain cannot remember. But yeah, going into like Mabinogion, that kind of thing. So yeah, excited for that. I already had the... Why have I forgotten the title of the book? Oh my god. I already had The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. I did pick up the sequel whilst I was there, The Books That Broke with the World, but just like half the size. I was surprised by how much thinner this is. And this is the second book in the trilogy that he's writing. And I'm a big Mark Lawrence fan. I've not actually read this series yet, but I've read a lot with all the books. And funnily enough, I was reading one of his books like on the way, because I picked Prince of Fools out of the TBR, my like veteran TBR jar essentially, so I was reading that on the way and really enjoying it. And these books are very different. These are more like pure fantasy, I think. People describe it as like cozy fantasy, whereas the books I've read by him previously are more like grimdark, which apparently he's going back to. But yeah, I'm really excited to try these in the future. I then picked up the other 2 S.T. Gibson books that I didn't own. I read Dowry of Blood earlier this month, really liked it, and I did pick up Education in Malice, and I also picked up Evocation, and I have like the standard like green hardcover version, but because this was just after she'd done her tour, they actually had these her tour variant, which is like it's the same cover, but it's like a hot pink. And then at the back you can see it's a 2024 evocation tour, so that was really cool. It's also got like, this is like the Waterstones special edition, I believe, which are apparently hard to get, but they had those there at their little like Blackwell shop. And then there was also this print that was given to me, which is about for one of the characters in like a tarot style. She is the devil. I believe this is like the half sister of the main character. So yeah, I'm super excited to get to this book. Really like can't wait to read it. I see it's got like really nice like underneath, it's got end papers and stuff. But yeah, this one sounds like it's going to be right up my alley, but I probably am going to try and get to Education in Malice first, because I'm trying to read them in order, and I did specifically go and like reread Carmilla in preparation for me to read Education in Malice. So yeah, I got both of those though, which was very exciting. And yeah, again, looking forward to more by that author in the future. I love that she does poly relationships. So yeah, this is just a random thing that we basically because this was set in Edinburgh, the what do they call, the Scottish Book Trust basically kind of like put these out on one of the panels on a bunch of seats, and this is just a bunch of like short fiction by a bunch of, I presume, Scottish authors, Scottish writers. So this was just like a little freebie that they gave, but I'll probably give it a try, and it does sound interesting, and it's all about the theme of adventure. So then, hang on, let me try and I should put aside the ones I hadn't necessarily planned on getting, pick up the ones that were surprises. So I did pick up 13 Ways to Kill Little Bell Rock. I absolutely love this one. I gave this a 5-star. I'm a bit sad it doesn't have a hardcover variant. It just came out this way. It's only paperback, although it's like, I don't know if you can see it like with this one, like it is a slightly odd shaped paperback. It's like bigger than a standard paperback. I unfortunately missed the signing for this one, so I didn't manage to get this copy signed, but I'm just happy to have my own copy, and like the cover is so good for this. So I already had I already had Tori Barbolino's latest book, My Throat and Open Grave, but I also picked up Not Good for Maidens whilst I was there. She had another book too, The Devil Makes Free. Yes, The Devil Makes Free, I believe, but this is the one I've heard quite a lot about, and I was intrigued by the storyline, so I picked this one up as well. I also picked up another book by Oliver K. Langmead because I really enjoyed Calypso, and this one sounds like it's going to be like very fun. I was speaking with the author, and they were like, they had like a good laugh basically when they saw I had this for them, and they're just like, oh, I remember this one. This was like a lot of like very funny kind of thing. So yeah, this is Glitterati. This is kind of like this, I guess it's like a weird sci-fi. It's described as a fabulous dystopian fable about fashion, family, and the feckless billionaire club. And I read like a chapter or two whilst I was waiting for a panel, and it was so fun. Like it was kind of just about like everything about like fashion, aestheticism, and the society, and everything is ruled by it. And yeah, it would seem like a good time. So I am looking forward to reading that in the future, and I like the little like glimmer it's got going on here because it's got the blue foil. I then picked up, it wasn't one I planned to get, but it was one I was interested in, but it wasn't actually released prior to the event. But this is Gate to Kagoshima by Poppy Kuroki, and this is actually a time travel story about, the girl is a quarter Japanese from Scotland originally. And she ends up like traveling to Kagoshima and falls through a portal basically through a torii gate, and it takes her back to 1877 during the Satsuma Revelation, which is a conflict at the end of the samurai, and she ends up like, because she's like looking into her ancestor who was supposed to be a samurai, and she ends up like meeting and I guess like falling in love with a samurai then. And this is the start of a series, which is really interesting, and I was talking to the author a little bit at the signing because I didn't know if like it was going to carry on what's happening in this, and it's still going to be set in Japan in the next book in the series, but it looks like it's going to be set like a little bit later, like early 1900s, and it's gonna be an LGBT story, which I'm very excited about. Seems like it's going to be quite like a quick read, and it just sounded really interesting. So, and it's a debut, I believe. Is it a debut by this author? I'm not entirely sure. No, I don't think it's a debut, but it's the first in her new series. So yeah, I'm excited to try this out. I probably will get to it quite fast, honestly, because it just sounds really intriguing. And then I picked up 3 more from the event. I picked up Those We Drown by Amy Goldsmith. This is like a horror set on a boat, and there's like a murder mystery, and it's got stuff to do with like deep sea mythology and that kind of thing, and it just sounded really interesting. So yeah, I picked this one up. Always down for a good horror. I also picked up another horror actually, which is Jump Cut by Helen Grant. This one I'd wanted to read before the event as well, and I just couldn't find it anywhere. I think it looks like it's an indie published one. It's by Fledgling Press. It did come out last year actually. But this one just sounds completely up my alley, basically, in terms of like horror, because it's all about horror movies. And basically it's about this lost movie called The Simulacrum, and it's about this like surviving cast member of this lost film, and she does an interview with somebody, and in return she kind of demands details of the interviewer's past. And it looks like it's gonna get weird and creepy, and I'm just very down for that. So yeah, I'm kind of really excited to try this one out. I was a little bit disappointed by the last like horror movie inspired book, which was The House That Horror Built. I think I didn't incredibly enjoy that, so I'm hoping I will get what I want from this one instead. And then finally, I also picked up Kaiki by Vaishnavi Patel. Her new book was also there, but I'll be getting it in book box soon, so I didn't pick that one up, but I've been wanting to pick this one up for quite a while. So I have two last books that I didn't buy, but they were just they came around the same time, so I figured I may as well just add them into this video. My friend Blessa had 2 copies of The Song of the Six Realms, so she ended up gifting me her spare copy of it, so I am excited to try this out at some point. It's by the same author of like the Book T series, which I do own the first one. I haven't got to yet. I believe this is a standalone, so it's got like these gorgeous end papers, and yeah, it looks really good. I don't actually remember what this one is about, to be honest. Oh, it is inspired by both Chinese mythology and Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca. Interesting. So it's about a musician. Her uncle is killed, and she puts on a private performance for a duke, and the duke gives her an offer to serve as a musician in residence at his manor for 1 year, and he'll set her free of her indenture. So it kind of sounds like there's possibly going to be a romance going on with that, but yeah, it certainly sounds interesting. And then literally the afternoon that I got back from Edinburgh, I had a Fairy parcel arrive, and it was my copy of Ruthless Vows, which had finally been sent and arrived. So I have 2 copies of this now because I didn't want to wait until now to read the sequel, so I did pick up the original edition, which is by the same artist, which I like. It's just different art, but this obviously matches the edition of the first one that I already have. It's got these like really nice edges with the like paper. I was a bit sad that the end papers are the same on both sides, but this is really nice end papers. It's got these like little dream scenes here, and then this is from a specific scene. If you know, you know. Under the Dust Jacket, I've got to say I don't like it as much as the other one. They've gone for a similar idea, but it's black instead of white, and I'm not too crazy on it. It's just kind of fine. It also has an author letter as well, but I love this book, so I'm very happy to get this matching edition to go with the one I already have. So yeah, that is all the books that I bought or obtained around Cymera. And yeah, just in general, it was a really good event. I had a really good time. It was really nice going to the panels because they weren't necessarily about the specific books that were being written, but because there were multiple author panels, they were often about topics. So yeah, it was really interesting going to all those. Like, we were so tired though by the end of the weekend because it was just a lot. But yeah, it was really good. I think I would definitely go back again next year, maybe. So I guess that is me signing off this vlog. It wasn't like a really planned vlog or anything. It was just a bit of a random thing. I like to catalogue my memories when I go do fun things. So it's more for that really that I did this. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, stay safe, stay cozy, and I'll see you in the next video.